Marcello Mastroianni was born into a very poor family, inheriting from his mother's Jewish industriousness, and from his father took Italian temperament and optimism. The boy's childhood was full of hardship, but the warm relations in the family quite compensated for this shortcoming. When the Mastroianni moved to Turin, March had a brother Ruggero, who later became a cameraman and starred in several films. Marcello's teenage years came at the height of power of the brutal dictator Mussolini, and the young man was sent by the Nazis to a special camp where people were turned into speechless animals. But Mastroianni managed to escape, risking his life. Such a strong was the craving for freedom in the young man. This character trait will repeatedly make itself felt in the future, especially in relations with women. The young man tried his hand at all kinds of professions before the war. He delivered newspapers, worked at a construction site, was a laborer, accountant, draftsman, anything to save money and get the opportunity to become an architect. It was his cherished dream. At the construction department of the University of Rome, he entered without problems. While working and simultaneously receiving education, Mastroianni attended the student amateur theatre, where for the first time manifested his extraordinary talent as an actor. Tragedy combined in it with eccentricity, and all this was so natural that it seemed as if not the hero of the play, and March himself lives this life. In the student theatre young man met Juliet Mazzina, the future muse and wife of the great Federico Fellini, which also became a landmark event in the life of the future actor. Here the young talent was noticed by the famous director Luchino Visconti and invited Mastroianni to his theatre Eliseo. In his fourth year, Marcello abandoned his former dream of becoming an architect, left the university and realized that his vocation was different, the world where Melpomene rules. Debut in Eliseo was a success. Now Marcello was offered roles in performances as often as none of the aspiring actors. But the road to fame is difficult and thorny. Yes, he did not chase fame, just loved his craft and played himself. The jewel of cinema of that time was the film Days of Love, where, together with Mastroianni, the main role was played by young Marina Villadi. The actor with all the passion of the Italian character fell in love with his partner on stage, but even his devilish charm and onslaught could not make the actress say yes. A striking work was the role in the film adaptation of Dostoevsky's novel, where Marcello played an intellectual looking for the meaning of life. It should be noted that in the film White Nights Visconti first showed his favorite not in the image of a simple guy from the people, and thinking cosmopolitan. This was the sensation that raised the rating of the young actor and made popular. But fans of Mastroianni's talent has not yet seen him as a sex symbol, and considered his heroes as equals to ordinary people, and flooded the future star with letters, asking for advice in this or that life situation. Apparently, his characters were so sincerely his own. The great Federico Fellini was not only a cult director, but also a remarkable psychologist. His keen eye always chose the kind of material that, when polished, would produce a shining diamond. So it happened and with his wife, Juliet, who introduced him to his former classmate. And here intuition did not fail the director. He saw in Marcello Mastroianni what he had been looking for years, his alter ego. Mater offered him a role in the film Sweet Life, which brought the actor international fame and made him the most sought-after actor of the time. In 1960, this film won first place at the Cannes Film Festival, and Mastroianni was awarded the title of Best Actor of the Year. The fruits of a successful creative union were films that have gone down in cinema history: 8½, City of Women, The Interview, Ginger and Fred. It is difficult to list all the masterpieces in which Fellini shot his favorite actor. It is interesting to note that strict critics and vain paparazzi of the time spoke about these works only positively. Mastroianni was also invited to his films by the famous director Vittorio De Sica. The roles of Don Juan, heartbreakers and heroes lovers were offered here. It was then that the world found a new sex symbol in the person of Marcello. And now the novels have swirled him with the speed of a tornado. What only nicknames did not get the actor, and Latin Don Juan, and Italian lover, and the first seducer in Europe. He only grinned and said that too lazy to justify these titles. And dozens of his infatuations commented as follows: "I did not count my women, I just loved them." Is it possible to condemn a man after such a revelation? Any creative person, be it an artist, a poet or a performer, needs fresh impressions, like a breath of mountain air, otherwise talent dries up. On the film set, Mastroianni warmed in his arms such stars as Brigitte Bardot, Anouk Aimée, Monique Witty, Jeanne Moreau, Claudia Cardinale, Sophia Loren. With the latter he is even attributed to the novel, but both actors categorically deny it. In an interview, film diva admits that with Marcello was so easy to work, that to get into his role almost did not have to. And in life, his wife had to suffer. At the dawn of his artistic career, March married the daughter of a popular Italian composer, Flora Carabella. The girl was also an actress, but after marrying, stopped acting, gave birth to a daughter and devoted herself to her family. As her popularity grew and her husband cheated, so did the tension in the relationship. At first Flora, with her usual Italian fervor, broke dishes, smashed furniture, and made loud scandals. But in time she realized that Marcello could not be kept in the family stable by force. It is necessary to let go of the reins, and then, having gained new emotions, he will return home again. And that's exactly what happened. Even, carried away by a new girlfriend, Mastroianni did not forget to send gifts and flowers on holidays to his wife and daughter. Flora always remained the only legitimate wife of the actor. This is how they lived for many years, sinful he and faithful she, until Mastroianni met Catherine Deneuve on the film set. Mastroianni not once asked for the hand Deneuve, but she categorically refused to official marriage. To conquer the actress, the actor divorced Flora and again made Catherine a proposal. But the actress continued to answer a cold no. Despite this, rejected father Chiara flew from anywhere in the world at the first request of his daughter. He showered his beloved with gifts and kisses, took her to all the films featuring Catherine. And then the girl would tell her mum how her father cried when he saw her on the screen. By the way, Catherine is younger than Marcello by 20 years, but, as you know, all ages are subdued to love. An interesting fact is that both his first wife and Catherine demanded a ban on the screening of the documentary film I Remember made by his last love director Annotato. However, the film was shown at the Cannes Film Festival. Marcello Mastroianni died in 1996, but as far as I understand, for Italy he remains one of the reference points in cinema and is still remembered there, which is not the case in other countries. I feel that Alain Delon is much more famous now from that time. Although in the 60s their fame was comparable. But over the years, for some reason, it is Marcello who has been forgotten. It is, in general, a normal phenomenon that old idols are replaced by new ones, but here we are talking about a huge and important actor. On the other hand, as I said, he is still a cult actor in Italy and will probably remain so for a long time. After all, there is no one comparable in terms of fame there now, and there is no one foreseeable. The era of some global and long-lasting stars is gone. That's all for today. Thank you for your attention and see you all again. Subscribe to the channel not to miss new videos.